can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
You're tapped in, so let's get right to it. When it comes to Donald Trump, you don't have to make up anything. He'll do it for you. Just recently at his White House dinner, I don't know, man. Anyway, the White House Correspondence Association dinner, he made a complete fool of himself. I mean, just the things he ranted and raved about. Again, you cannot make this stuff up about Donald Trump because he doesn't need your help in that respect. He's going to get it done. Now, as most of you know, Donald Trump is, a loose cannon. I was about to say somewhat of a loose cannon, but we all know he's not all there. There's something, seriously wrong, mentally wrong with Donald J. Trump. And I got proof. I have the receipts. I have a clip. I'm going to drop this clip, let you guys see for yourselves how he carried on. It was so undignified. There's something to say about his classlessness that's always on display for the world to see. But not only did he, carry himself in such a, unflattering light, he even went as far to insult the Khamenei of Iran, called him gay. So we'll get to that. But yeah, this happened Friday night, okay, July 24th, at the rescheduled White House Correspondence Association dinner held at the Waldorf Astoria in D.C., all right? Now, look, this dinner was originally supposed to happen in April 2026, but a gunman opened fire at that event, if you all recall. This supposed assassination attempt had took place. I mean, man, the worst bit of acting I've ever seen, all right? That was below B rate, But anyway, that's why it was postponed. Trump admitted his original April speech was going to be a doozy, but said he rescraped the harshest material after the shooting. Still, the rescheduled speech had plenty of edge, people. Trust me when I tell you this again. This guy is unhinged, all right? Now, as far as the press, he went after CNN's Caitlin Collins by name, telling her to smile more and mock Jake Tapper as fake Tapper. That was kind of funny. CNN pushed back publicly, defending its reporter's work. Now, on Iran, he told the crowd not to believe fake news about the war and made a joke about a once feared and powerful regime now ran by a gay dictator facing internal divisions. He also said the U.S. had hit Iran very hard and claimed it no longer has functioning naval and air capabilities, insisting the war effort was going extremely well. All right. Now, on other figures, he did take aim at Bruce Springsteen for making political speeches during a concert, and needled former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. So I mean, he went after a whole lot of people. Don Lemon, who I just mentioned, Springsteen. He went after AOC. I mean, there were just countless people. And again, I have a clip, and I'm going to go on and show you guys this clip because, like I said, this is embarrassing. And again, you can't make this stuff up. There's no need to. He's at the helm. Trust me when I tell you that. Before we drop that clip, please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe to the Art of Political Discourse. As we say here, you are tapped in, and we appreciate that you are. Now, without further ado, let's get to this clip. Let's watch the clip.
It talks about, for example, under my administration, a once feared and powerful regime that relentlessly attacked America has finally been toppled. Their former leaders have been removed, and they're now being run by a gay dictator facing internal divisions. But, I shouldn't say this. I'm not supposed to hate. I'm supposed to love everybody. But he's a terrible person. He's a liar. And I called him Watermelon Head because he has the largest head I've ever seen with the smallest neck, pencil neck. How does that?
Now, here's the thing, though. This is supposed to be a Christian. Now I don't really know how that go. I'm not a Christian, but just is something wrong with this guy. And in fact, if most Christians act like he does, think like he does, then there's something wrong with Christianity. I have to say that respectfully. Most Christians there are quite a few who follow this guy and believes that everything he's doing is okay by their God. So again, there's some crazy stuff going on. All right. There's some crazy things happening. And he's at the helm of all this craziness that we see taking place, not just in the United States, but around the world. All right. Crazy stuff. Oh, and Gavin Newsom, I don't know why that just came to my head. He can't stand Gavin Newsom. A lot of people can't, but he has a real, solid one for Gavin Newsom.
Big, fat, ugly head stand on a little pencil neck. And then I'm told that even Rosie O'Donnell reached out from Ireland. She really wanted to be here in order to honor me. She loves me very much, and she was desperate to come back to the United States and pay her respect to Donald J. Trump. But that didn't work out, unfortunately, because nobody wanted her to come back. But she's one of the greatest sufferers of Trump derangement syndrome. She's a sick young woman, sick older woman, I guess now I have to say. So instead, we're honored to have, for entertainment, the very talented mentalist, Oz Perlman. And everybody, they said, are you going to stay? I said, yeah, I'll stay. I think I'll stay. What the hell else am I going to do? I've got Iran, I've got this, I've got that, which is all going extremely well. Don't believe the fake news. It's the only thing we were talking before. I said, so we've hit Iran very hard. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. 250 jets, no longer. 159 boats, good boats. In fact, I said, why the hell didn't we keep them? We could have used them. But 159, but all at the bottom of the sea. They have no radar. They have very few drones left, despite what you see. And every once in a while, they're going to set some things up, but they don't have much left. And by the way, they are talking to us right now. They'd love to make a deal. I don't think they're ready to. I don't think it's time yet, but I'm willing to listen. But they cannot have a nuclear weapon. We don't want to see Washington, D.C., or any of our cities, or Israel, or frankly, the Middle East destroyed with a nuclear weapon, because
and see, that's part of the propaganda or fake news coming from the Trump administration that they tell often, very often. One of their main, sticking points is we don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. Even the United States spy agency said they never were in the process of making one. They weren't a threat. It was not a threat in terms of them making a nuclear weapon. So this came out in 2025 when Trump decided to bomb Iran, saying that they obliterated, the nuclear facilities. Spy agencies here, top spy agencies here in the country said, what'd you do that for? They weren't even trying to make a weapon. All right. And yet this is what they continue to talk about. This is what they continue to talk about. And we think here at TAP that that's just part of the narrative propaganda that we hear, the fake news, so that when they realize, the Trump administration, that they can't break Iran's back, they may try to fire, some type of low yield nuke into Iran to break them. Because, them sending missiles, tomahawks and stuff, not going to break Iran. And Trump administration, as well as the Zionists in Israel, no, they can't send boots into Iran. That's murder. That's like suicide, So that's not going to happen. So we think that they're working up this story, for lack of a better term, this narrative where they had to send a low yield nuke into Iran because Iran was again building a nuclear weapon in some underground facility they didn't learn about until recently, and they went and recovered the 440 kilograms of uranium that they processed. A lot of false flags, but we pretty much are sure here at TAP that something's going to occur because he's at his end. Netanyahu has done everything except what told Trump, okay, drop a low yield nuke on them because they're not going to break, they're not going to leave, and we can't get rid of them only through this nuclear weapon. So that's what we think is going to happen. That's what we think may take place. It's a strong possibility.
I know the power of nuclear weapons. I see it. I get to see it. We're not going to let that happen. So this is all about we will not let them have a nuclear weapon. And they would use it. They would use it if they had it.
I was understanding that this was about the Strait of Hormuz. This was about Iran supposedly killing its citizens. That this was about Iran being the #1 terrorist sponsors in the world. Yeah. Again, the narrative continues to change with the Trump administration as well as the Benjamin Netanyahu Zionist regime. And it will continue to do so until they come across that one narrative that'll stick, and they'll be able to do exactly what I said they're going to do or what they want to do soon enough.
But Oz, I do have one question about what happened that time because he was there. How the hell did you not see that coming? He sees everything. He sees everything. He's telling me about your grandmother and your this. Why the hell didn't you? We got to ask him that question when he gets up here. Why didn't he see that coming? But of course, this evening, it's really all about the fake news media and your handling of prizes, writing and producing and performing made-up stories like the Academy Awards. Academy Awards used to be the epitome of ratings. Outside of the Super Bowl, it got the second most ratings. Now it's down in the dumps. Nobody wants to watch it anymore because they took on Trump. They hit me all night long. They hit me. The winner is so-and-so. I want to talk about Donald.
No, I think the reason why the Academy Awards may be going down in the dumps is because all the people associated with the Epstein files or people in the Epstein files that they, interact with. That may be it, A lot of your Hollywood producers and directors and actors are allegedly involved with these horrid activities taking place with minors. That may be the reason. Yeah.
Trump, I hate this man. Nobody wants to hear this stuff, right, Peter? Nobody wants to hear. You ever see the ratings? They used to have 48 million people. Now they have 2 people watching. But they'll learn their lesson. But I really do wonder whether the Democrats are trying to lose the midterms. In Maine, they nominated a guy with a Nazi tattoo. But don't worry, Democrats. Word is that Plattner's replacement, he throws bottles at women. This guy throws bottles. This guy's another lunatic, by the way. Although I think Plattner might have done surprisingly well because we're in the age of Trump. Call it what you want. People can do well today. Plattner, I don't know. But, people don't have the guts to stick it out. But it looked like he was guilty of a lot of stuff. He certainly didn't defend himself very well. In Texas, the Democrats are running a candidate named James Telefrico, who hates guns, hates oil, hates sex, hates women, and who said he is, quote, a Christian who hates Christianity. Other than that, I think his platform is quite good. And that means that he's not going to do very well against Ken Paxton, who hopefully in Texas is going to win. But Telefrico, he's Alfred. You know what he looks like to me? Alfred E. Newman. You remember Alfred E. Newman, Mad Magazine? I said, that guy is Alfred E. Newman. Can't imagine he'd win. Well, I have all of the press here in one place. I have to say that we're having an amazing load of accomplishments that the media never talks about. For example, under my administration, a once feared and powerful regime that relentlessly attacked America has finally been toppled. Their former leaders have been removed, and they're now being run by a gay dictator facing internal divisions. But I, for one, wish Barry Weiss all the best at CBS News. She's a wonderful woman. Most of the press lives here in Washington, D.C., and you should be thankful for me for what my administration and I have done to make our nation's capital, which was one of the most dangerous and unsafe cities anywhere in the world.
Every patient gets a personalized approach when they come into Cenegenics.
Our performance health assessment takes it a step further.
We are looking at a whole host of
one of the safest cities in the United States. Crime is down 88%. and our capital is shining again with 62 monuments, statues, water fountains looking more beautiful. The graffiti's all gone. The tents are all moved out of the parks. The fences are all done. Our capital looks like it's really in good shape. And people coming here, people in the White House, they work in the White House, they all say, young women, young guys walk up. They say, thank you, sir. 2 years ago, we lived in a dangerous city. We lived in a city where 150 people were killed a year. And now we have almost a crime-free city. Our National Guard has done an incredible job, and we've removed over 5,000 career criminals. You know, we removed, there's one stat, I think it's a great.
So they went into DC and they brought in the National Guard as well as ICE, ATF, DEA, FBI, and they swept black communities. You know, now initially when they went in, they were going in to corral and detain illegal immigrants. Now they're in there, they're cleaning the rank and file of the black community. More precisely, they're removing men from the homes and they're locking them up. All right, that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. And to do that, in order to do that, all kind of constitutional violations are occurring with the majority of the, he said 5,000, pretty sure, man, maybe 4/5 of that have been detained unconstitutionally, and their constitutional rights have been trampled and violated upon. So what Trump is bragging about, well, a lot of us see as an attack on the black community that will just expand in time. You know, crazy work here.
Stat, it's to me, it's fantastic. 2% of the people create 91% of the crime. That's something you can fix, and we fix it. We moved out over 5,000 career criminals out of Washington, D.C., and we have the greatest capital in the world. Again, it's beautiful, it's thriving, the restaurants are thriving. You couldn't get into a restaurant because they didn't have, all the restaurants were closing. And if you even got in, you felt unsafe. People were getting into Ubers and they were being attacked when they were in an Uber. It's not happening anymore. We have tough, smart people, and they have done a fantastic job. Washington, D.C. is safe again. You can't get into a restaurant. The restaurants are opening up. They're opening up all over the city. They can't get, it's the exact opposite. They can't get space. But mostly I've given up on you in the media, so that now I just gave up on you, and I'm #1 on TikTok. Did you see that I'm #1, Stephen? Is that true? I'm #1 on TikTok. So how could they be so bad? 520, think of this, 425 billion views. Can you believe that, Peter? I mean, let's go, Peter. I gave up on you people. I gave up on traditional press. And it obviously worked because we did win in a landslide. I mean, somebody's got to be saying something good about me.
Yeah. Megalomaniac right there. Donald Trump, that is the president of the United States for the next, let's say, year and a half. He'll be here causing havoc, creating chaos, violating constitutional rights of the citizenry here in the United States. Donald Trump, who is attempting to outlaw homelessness here in the United States. It'd be a crime to be homeless, or they'll have a facility for you to go to. Involuntarily, they'll put you there. Donald Trump, the president of the United States. Like I said, a lot of what he says is just outrageous. A lot of what he does is even worse. It's just downright, violations of law, and constitutional law. Donald Trump, I don't know, doesn't look too healthy. Doesn't look too healthy. Days may very well be numbered, as was, Lindsey Graham. We'll see. We'll see. Tell us what you think about this video, the Correspondence dinner at the White House. Well, it wasn't at the White House, excuse me. It was at the Adolph Astoria in D.C. And, all his lackeys were there. All his allies were there. Funny that, I don't know, they may be getting it. I didn't hear a whole lot of little pause applause in terms of what he was saying, his statements, his shots at certain people. Not a lot of laughter. You know, it makes you think, you know, are they waking up now as well? You know, we hear stories that MAGA is waking up now and are pretty disappointed with Trump and his administration. But hey, they can only blame themselves for that, you know, for that disappointment. That's theirs. All right, again, tell us what you think about this piece. Donald Trump at the Correspondence dinner that was set back, rescheduled because of the fake assassination attempt that took place back in April. So it actually took place last night, Friday, the 24th of July. I don't know. I don't know. I have no opinion of it one way or another, other than the fact that the guy's a clown. You know, he doesn't know how to carry himself. He has no grace, no dignity, no class, no style. You know, so that's what I took from it. You know, just you know, a bad guy in a bad time. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution.